untamed and uncut. A treacherous rescue unfolds on a sheer, slippery cliff in Newfoundland, Canada. Rescuers are trying to save this 300-pound polar bear when she suddenly slips, then plummets. It all starts when the 3-year-old bear floats in on an ice floe from the Arctic. Rescuers believe she may have climbed up the jagged mountain. Now she's stranded in the middle of the 100-foot rocky cliff, less than a mile away from the tiny town full of people. Since polar bears are an endangered species, a young, healthy female is a vital life, worth saving at all costs. They're going to lower the massive bear in a basket, but getting her in the tiny container will not be easy.
The only option I had was to drug the bear. It had to be tranquilized.
From a hovering helicopter, Bill uses a tranquilizer gun, hitting the bear with his first shot. Rescuers carefully make their way toward the bear, scaling the rocks from above and below. But the moss-covered cliff is steep and slippery. It takes 40 minutes to reach her. They now only have 20 minutes to get her in the basket. If she wakes up, she could plummet to her death and take a rescuer with her. But there is another problem. The ledge is too shallow to maneuver the 300-pound bear into the basket. They'll have to tie a sling around her like a hammock and lower her with sheer manpower. Her oily coat that protects her in freezing water makes the bear extra slippery and nearly impossible to move. Brian Wilkins and his team carefully start her down the face of the cliff. But suddenly, the rope slips. She's now dangling 30 feet above the jagged rocks by 1 foot. Now they have to go down and get her before she wakes up, but there's not much time. Waiting in the boat below, Officer Bill Collins prays the rope will hold. But then, disaster. The polar bear lands in the water. But she's still in deep trouble. The tranquilizer hasn't worn off. She can't swim. They have to get her head above water. And fast. The determined men are now desperate to save her, but they are also aware of the risk they now face. If the bear does wake up, she could tear a man to shreds. At the end of a polar bear's powerful webbed paws are 3-inch-long, razor-sharp claws that can rip through flesh like a dagger. Thankfully, the bear's natural buoyancy keeps her afloat, and they are able to tug her to shore.
We couldn't get it into the boat. It was just too heavy for us. We just held it to the side of the boat and kept his head out of the water and floated it into to the slipway.
Anybody can take a high-powered rifle and destroy an animal, but it takes a lot more courage to save them than it does just to destroy them.
Untamed and uncut. Only on Animal Planet.